Hello. Hello, hello, hello. So, 0 viewers so far. This is a surprise live stream. So, it's a surprise. I don't know. I wasn't planning on doing it basically. And then just now I was filming some videos and I was like, let's do a live stream. So I don't even know if anyone will be up. Really, I know you guys are in different countries, but the majority of my audience is in the US and it is basically the middle of the night. So I don't know, we'll see. But I might as well tweet out the link and Facebook message the link and all that good stuff, just in case anybody is around. So give me a second to do that, and then we can move on from there. So start thinking of questions, put them down in the comments, and let's do this thing. So it's gonna take me a little bit to get to the page so I can share the link because they make this as complicated as possible. Okay, live stream. It's saying I'm not online. Is that true? Is that true? No, it says 9 watching. Okay, well. Oh, there I am. Okay. Why can't I find like the actual page? What's up with that? I'll get there. Don't worry. I've done this before. Hang in there with me. It's not showing up for some reason. Gosh darn it. My channel. I would think it would be on my channel. Bye, buddy Danica. I'm gonna type in my own name to the search. Okay, here we go. It says live now. True. Why won't it let me click it though? I'm just trying to find basically the YouTube watch page where it is so that I can share it. Oh wait, is that it? Go there. Yes, I found it. Woo! Success. Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna copy this real quick and send it out and then we can start. Okay. Finally, that took too long. Okay. The sad part is it opened up in like a separate window and I was just in the wrong window. So woohoo for me. All right, surprise live stream. Oh, I've made that one word, surprise stream. That's kind of funny actually. Surprise. I'm just gonna type that. Surprise stream. No, that's, people won't get that. Okay, surprise live stream. I'll just post this now. And publish. Post it. Post it, post it. So think of questions, write them in the comments while I do this. It just takes a little bit to get live streams going because I have to like let people know that I'm doing it. So let me do that really quick. I say really quick and it takes like at least a couple minutes. So not really quick, but you know. Surprise live stream. Join me. Okay. Okay, I think we should be good. Maybe I should Snapchat it too. Okay, so I've done Facebook and Twitter so far. Should I snap it? Should I take a Snapchat right here while you're watching? There you go. Live now, www. So if you follow me on Snapchat, DMarie is me, then you should go look at this snap because you can see it in 2 ways, which is pretty fun. Okay, youtube.com/diabetic Danica. Okay, done. Okay then, now I can just focus on this. I think that's enough. I didn't put it on Instagram, but we'll just keep it a secret for Instagram. Ooh, there I am. Okay. So far in the comments, I see a lot of highs. So I'm just gonna say hi to everybody. Hi, Shad, Jason, Danielle, Unlimited 517, Jake, Danielle again, Megan, Claudius, and Kevin. And Colette. Okay, hello. Kevin says, did I see ampersand off to your side? Probably. She just ran back outside she's kind of like bugged out right now because she doesn't really understand why I'm awake. Because my schedule is so backwards. Like I have day shifts and night shifts. So tonight I'm preparing for a night shift. So I'm trying to stay up late. And I did not stay up late at all last night. So I think she's kind of like, why aren't we going to bed? Because instead of going into the bathroom to get ready for bed, I actually just put on makeup and filmed a YouTube video. So she's kind of like, what are you doing? So she just went outside, probably to go to the bathroom or just look around and get away from this weird person that is her mom. But yeah, that was probably her. She's very independent. Russ Stedman said he just put a sensor in his arm successfully for the first time after 3 failures. Great job! I'm glad you're able to do it. It is a little bit tricky in terms of like, just like flexibility and positioning just right. But once you get it, I feel like you get it and it's not too bad. But yeah. Jake says, how much do you bolus for 1 cup of rice? Usually a cup of rice is like 45 grams. At least that's what I count it as. It depends on the rice, obviously. So for me, that's 4.5 units because I am a 1-to-10 ratio. Danielle says she loves my shirt. Thank you. I actually got it. It says Friends. I don't know if you can see that. Let me go in the other window where I can actually see myself. It says Friends. I love the show Friends and actually did studio tours. I think this one was Warner Brothers. We also did Paramount. I think this is Warner Brothers though. And so I got to see the Friends lot and everything and set, I mean, not lot, and sit on the couch and stuff in the coffee shop. And I got a t-shirt. So actually my mom got a t-shirt and then she gave it to me. So that was exciting. Colette is saying 2 a.m. low pays off. So I'm guessing you're up for a low right now. I'm glad to entertain you for the 15 minutes that you need, hopefully. Unless it takes a little bit longer, as it sometimes does. So what's new? I just filmed 2 videos, so I'm excited to edit those. I'm going to try to edit one tonight, which will give me more things to do to stay up super late. So that's a good thing. And then I'll have a video out, so that'll be really good. I also have other really exciting stuff that I'm working on. But some of the stuff, I feel like a cliche YouTuber now, but I'm just not sure what I can say yet. But one is a really cool, well, actually they're both really cool partnerships. One's a really, really cool partnership with like a really cool diabetes company that I'm really excited about. And then the other one is an event. So super exciting. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll leave them in the comments. So far, y'all are just saying what time it is where you live, so that's exciting. I didn't mean midnight, like midnight. I meant like midnight, like in the middle of the night. But some of you, it's 8 a.m., so, so that's pretty cool. So let's see, in terms of diabetes updates with me, same old, same old. I'm kind of getting into that nice groove that I get where I kind of get on a semi-regular schedule. Like, I feel like when I first moved and started my new job, my blood sugars were kind of variable. And I feel like now that I've been here a little bit, I'm kind of getting that groove where most of the time I feel like it's pretty much sort of in range. I mean, not always. I was high earlier today. I think I might be high now, actually, because I'm really thirsty. But, oh, actually I'm not. I'm 102. I'm just thirsty. But yeah, I just feel like it's kind of been on a good roll, so that's pretty nice. And it has been kind of weird because I switched endocrinologists, and so I realized after I got back from my appointment, like I think a couple days later, I realized I didn't ask for prescriptions from him. So I was out of my refills with my old endocrinologist, and then my new one I didn't ask for refills, and so I was kind of like, oh. Great. So I had to call a lot of times because first I got the scheduling line a bunch of times, had to leave a bunch of messages. And then I had to call this other line for prescriptions only, but I also had to leave messages. They never called me back. And eventually I realized I have to go through the pharmacy first. So I had already called the pharmacy a couple times, but I feel like the first person didn't know what they were talking about. And the next person was very helpful. And she said, once you run out of refills, we'll call this number you gave us for your endo, and then we'll get more. But I was kind of like, I don't know, I didn't want to wait. So I was like, can we just do it now? Because I'd already called so many people so many times, got so many message machines that I was just like, please, let's just get these filled now. So I don't even know if it worked. Apparently I had refills. I use Walgreens and I use their online thing. And so I refill them online and it said I didn't have any refills, but when I called, they said I did. So I'm really confused, Walgreens, about your online system because it was different. And then I filled it online for my test strips twice and it never worked. And I was like, I tried to do it and they said, we're doing it now. So I don't know. That was probably really confusing and not well explained. But you want to see my puppy? Basically, I got him figured out. I got my insulin and my test strips. And so it's all good now, but I don't really know how many refills I have because I feel like online hasn't been accurate lately. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Amber's, here she is. She stinks a little bit. We went on a run today, her first run ever, and she did really good. She's a little dog, so I wasn't really sure. Actually, I was pretty, like when I was thinking about getting a dog, I was like, I really want a small dog. But the only reason I would really get a big dog is so I can have a running buddy. So I just didn't think small dogs could do it. But she has so much energy and she was so good on walks. Like we take like 50-minute walks that I was like, I think she could handle a short run. And I haven't ran in a while, so I'm a little bit out of shape. So I was like, perfect to go on a short run. We're both out of shape. Well, she's not out of shape. She's just little. So we did. And we stopped a lot because she's a puppy and she had to walk sometimes or sniff something or go potty. But overall, I would say, wow, she did really good. Yeah. So it was really fun. So I think we're going to run a lot now and that'll be good. That'll be good motivation for me because I walk her anyway. And so it's nice that I can just like combine the two and get my run in and get the walk in. So yeah, but she is getting major fluff on her. Like I'm not going to groom her until it gets a little bit warmer out so that she actually has like some warmth for her. And I think she's just really cute, fluffy. But eventually I will have to take some of this off when it gets really hot. But I love her so much. She is so sweet. And we are now running buddies, so pretty good. Let me see the comments. Samantha Ann says, check out the Dale tribe on YouTube. I came across them recently and their 9-year-old was just diagnosed and she seems so strong, but they do daily vlogs. Check them out. Actually, I just discovered them as well. So the Dale tribe, is that what it's called? I think they commented on a video or messaged me or something saying that a bunch of people were commenting on their video saying, check out Diabetic Danica. And so I looked at their video and I watched the one where I think her name was Aspen, was first diagnosed with diabetes. And I commented and said this already, but like I just thought it was so compelling. Like I'd never seen a daily vlog where somebody is literally diagnosed in the video. Like I've seen a lot of daily vlogs. I'm a big fan of those. And I've seen a lot of diabetes videos, but none of like, this is the actual day they were diagnosed. So for me, it kind of brought back a lot of memories. It kind of helped me see it again from the patient perspective since it's been a long time and I'm a nurse now. So it brought back my own memories, but also helped me see it from the patient perspective with another person. And just, I don't know, it was just like really cool to see that all play out. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's called, I guess, the Dale tribe. Sorry, I just don't remember the exact name. It's like probably diabetes diagnosis or, I feel like I should look it up so I can actually tell you. Let me find the actual name of the video so that you can actually watch it and not just me make up stuff. Okay, it's called A Trip to the Emergency Room, Life with Type 1 Diabetes Day 1 by the Dale tribe. And it was a really good video. So, yeah. Let's see. Anna Haynes said, do you plan on ever having babies or have you not thought about it yet? Not thought about it yet. I'm 23 years old. I've definitely thought about it, but not anytime soon. I would probably need a husband for that. At least that's my personal standard for myself. Obviously, you can do it other ways, but I want to be married first for a little bit, and before I get married, I want to date someone for a couple years first. But I definitely want to have kids. I love kids. All growing up, I was a babysitter. I was a nanny every summer. Now I work in pediatrics. So definitely kids are a big passion of mine. And I definitely want to be a mom someday, but not right now. And yeah, so once that does happen, and I assume I'm still going to be making YouTube videos, I'll definitely vlog about that because I know it takes a lot of work to be a diabetic mom, especially during the pregnancy part because your blood sugars have to be super low, I feel like. Babies run a lot lower than adults, so you kind of have to keep it really tight and have a really low A1C, and it sounds really, really hard, but you just do the best you can. So yeah, that will definitely be an adventure, but definitely doable. So we shall see, but not anytime soon. I'm just getting settled in my career here. Let's take it one step at a time. Let me refresh this so I get all the comments here. There we go. Load those comments. Let me scroll a little bit. Samantha Ann said you should train your dog for knowing about lows. Before I got my puppy, I thought about getting a diabetic alert dog, and I actually emailed somebody about it. Like, that's how serious I was about it. And then I realized I just didn't want a big dog. So I live in an apartment, and I think as my first dog, I want it to be super manageable. Not that smaller dogs are really that much more manageable, but I just felt like mentally it was. So I decided not to, and I just decided since I have a continuous glucose monitor, it would be great to have the backup of a diabetic alert dog to kind of like, you know, an extra layer of safety. But at the same time, I feel like it's not really necessary for me. I would probably just use it for overnights. I wouldn't take it everywhere with me, just because that's not, I think, what I need personally. But I have heard that a lot of dogs just can do it. Just like dogs, since they get to know you and your smell and your behaviors, that if you do go really low, non-trained dogs have woken people up before. So I was like, yeah, maybe that'll happen, you know. But right now I'm not planning on training her. I have a friend that trained a diabetic alert dog, and she said it's a full-time job to do it. So I already have a full-time job, and I'm not looking for 2 full-time jobs. So I'm good on that. Claire Davis said, I know you are a nurse, but what are you actually doing? What sort of ward do you work on? As a new nurse, what sort of things are you doing? So I'm an inpatient nurse, which, just in case you guys don't know, it's when you stay the night at the hospital. So this isn't like a doctor's appointment. It's not the nurse you see when you come in for your doctor's appointment for like 30 minutes and then leave. This is, you're here at least one night, and presumably sometimes a couple of nights. So I work 12-hour shifts. My role basically, I mean, it's a lot of different things. But initially when I get there, I assess the patient, I look them over. There's this whole long list of things you check on them, like pulses, you get their vital signs, you look at their pupils, all this stuff. It's very pretty in-depth. You're also in charge of all their medications. You're in charge of anything they need, really, like getting their bed changed, you know, getting their food for them. You're in charge of teaching them about any questions they have about why they're there or what's going on, keeping them in the loop about what the schedule is for them. You're also kind of the eyes and ears for the doctor when they're not there, which is most of the time. So you're looking for any changes in their condition, making sure their airway is open, their heart's beating appropriately, everything's being perfused, and basically keeping them healthy and on track, and you know, help them get better basically while they're there. So it's kind of hard to summarize honestly what a nurse does, just because it's very not broad, but there's a lot that goes into it. Like, depending on each individual diagnosis, there could be so many different things you do. Like, we start IVs, you know, we manage IV medications, we give injections, all that stuff. So it's a lot, but the actual specific ward I'm working on is inpatient pediatrics. So it's ages 0 to like 17, 18. And so just kids, and obviously their families staying with them. And as a new nurse, I have already gone through my preceptorship, which is me with a more experienced nurse. And so I am fully on my own. I have a full patient load just like any other nurse would. And I just ask a lot of questions when I have them. So that's hopefully semi-answering your question. Yeah. Jake said, basically, you're the nurse that checks up on you when you get ketoacidosis. Potentially, yeah. Usually that's a pediatric ICU nurse. I'm just pediatrics, but yeah, that's like the same role in terms of like what they do. And also if you were diagnosed, or when you were diagnosed and you stayed the night at the hospital, it's those nurses. That's the same thing. Like I just actually had a new diagnosis, type 1 diabetes. And that was my first one I'd ever had. Obviously besides being diagnosed myself, like that was the first patient I had that had that. So that was really interesting. And I did let them know that I had diabetes, and I answered any questions they had, and I showed them my pump, and it was cool. It was also sad. Like I also had these other patients that have CF, cystic fibrosis, and they were just being diagnosed with CF related diabetes, and they were learning how to check their blood sugar, and I wasn't the one to do it because they had a specific person from the endocrinology place come up to do it. But after just like looking in their eyes, I got to reward them. I gave them something from our bravery box, which is like a little prize for being brave, basically. And just seeing in her eyes how like, can't even describe it, I guess like fear and sadness, and just like she had been crying. And it honestly made me tear up because they're about my same age when I was diagnosed, and I just remembered being that kid. And so that was like, it was really cool though, just because I felt like I really knew what they were going through, and so I could sympathize a lot more. So yeah, I'm kind of tearing up just thinking about it, but they're gonna do great. They did a lot better the second day, even with checking their blood sugars. And so yeah, but I just know how hard it is at first, so it's great that I'm there to help them. And when I told them that, their mom especially was like, oh, you do like blood sugar checks every day? That's really helpful actually. And she seemed like much more, I don't know, just like happy to have somebody there that actually knew and like had done it themselves. So yeah. Chad McCabe says, what is your recommendations on how you can lower an A1C? And it was updated by a few points. I'm not the first person to say this. Lots of people say this, but overnight blood sugars. If you think about it, overnight is like, hopefully, I mean, not always, like 8 hours of your day. And that's a lot of time. So if you get your overnights like solid, like you go to bed at a good number, you wake up at a good number. If you have a CGM, you can see that your numbers were good all through the night. That's going to lower your A1C so much. So I'd say focus on that first and then move on from there. And like, I think personally, you know, checking frequently helps. So like checking your blood sugar more so than not, just because when you're more aware of your numbers, you're more aware of what's going on. You're more able to address what's going on and get your numbers back in control. So yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. Maria says, can anyone using the Dexcom transmitter shower without damage to it? Yes. Maybe I should scroll up and see your initial question. Is that all you asked in your first question? Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to find your initial. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the Dexcom, you can shower for sure, as long as it's tightly locked. The first time I put on my Dexcom, sorry, she just tripped into my lap. The first time I put on my Dexcom, didn't have it clipped in all the way. Both little like hooky things have to be together in order to keep it watertight. And then you can totally shower with it. You can shower, you just don't bring your receiver. Like if this was my receiver, the part that shows my blood sugars, you can't bring that. That's not waterproof. But the part on your body is, as long as it's like snapped in and everything. I hope that makes sense. Samantha Ann says lowest and highest A1C. My highest A1C was a diagnosis, obviously, I guess. And it was, I want to say either 13 or 15. My lowest was 6.8. My highest, not counting diagnosis, was 8.0. I wish I could play music during these, but then YouTube would flag me for copyrighted content. But I was just like rocking out to some J-Beebs and Selena Gomez before this. So, Raisa D says, have you ever tried the 80-10-10 diet while being a diabetic or a vegan diet that was mostly plant-based? I haven't. I've never really been on a specific diet other than carb counting. When I was first diagnosed, I was on NPH and Humalog, and so I had to like have a certain amount of carbs per meal. And now I just count carbs and match them with insulin. But I've never been on a vegan, vegetarian, paleo, anything, because I really like food. I don't know if that's really why, and laziness probably. But I do know diabetics that are vegan, and there's even a diabetic on YouTube that has a fruit-based diet, and that really works for her. So, I mean, I would just, before you make any major changes, it always helps to like talk to your doctor about it, to kind of see how they think it'll affect your blood sugars, and then just really monitor your blood sugars as you go so that you stay on top of it. But I don't think that that's, I mean, as far as I know, you can have any diet with diabetes, you know. Claire Montgomery says, any advice for a female diabetic getting her period? So funny you should ask that. That is one of the videos I literally just recorded. I just recorded 2 videos, and that is the very next video I am going to upload. So I don't know when, whenever I get it edited and get the thumbnail done. So it's hopefully by Monday, but no promises. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm not going to really touch on that right now. You'll have to wait for the video. Sorry. Whenever my puppy hears any noise outside, she does this funny like cough bark. It's like, I don't know if you just heard it. It was like, and it's like a quiet bark, which is nice because she's not barking super loud. And then she runs outside to see what it is. And I don't think it's ever anything. So it's kind of funny. It's pretty cute though. She's trying to protect us. Twyla McDonald says, what insulin are you using? She uses Novolog and Levemir. I use Novolog in my insulin pump. But I've been on, in the past, Lantus, Humalog, Apidra, Novolog. Those are all the types that I've used in my life. In my life. The Chloe 1013 says, do you think the pump is better than the pen? I think it depends on the person. For me, the pump is way better. And I think, I want to generalize. I want to say for the most part, I feel like the pump is better. I feel like it's a very small percentage of people who have tried the pump. So I'm not talking about people that have never tried the pump, but out of people who have tried the pump, I'd say it's a very small percentage who go back to shots forever. Like people do take pump vacations, but I think it's a small percentage of people who try the pump, hate it, and go to shots. Like I feel like once you try the pump, you're kind of sold on it. At least for me, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, the reason I feel like the pump is better for me and a lot of people is it more closely mimics what a real pancreas does. Like a real pancreas will put out a little bit of insulin every couple minutes, and it'll put out more when you eat. And that's the same thing with the pump. The pump just has the short-acting insulin. It puts out a little bit of insulin every couple minutes, and then it increases, or you increase it when you eat by telling it how much to give. So yeah, like your pancreas doesn't have long-acting and short-acting insulin. So I think that method, while it works for some people, it really didn't work for me at the end there. I was on it for 3 years, Lantus and Humalog, but eventually, like, my body just needs very different amounts of insulin. You know, in the morning, I need twice the amount of insulin that I need in the evening. So it really helps me to be able to adjust my insulin every hour. So at 8 a.m., let's say I get like 0.9 units, whereas at 10 p.m., I can get half a unit. So yeah, I just think it's great for fine tuning and all of that. But for some people, it's hard to get the hang of maybe. It's a piece of medical equipment. It can be kind of scary. People can have trouble keeping it connected all the time because it does have to be on you at all times. So if you struggle with that, that might be hard. But honestly, you get used to it for the most part. What's another reason I was going to say? I guess that's the main stuff. But I'm just like, I'm not a needle person, which not a lot of people are, but like I had a severe needle phobia when I was first diagnosed. So the less pokes, the better for me. So I like that I don't have to take 6 shots a day anymore. I can just have a poke every 3 days. That too. Danielle Pierce says, I like the pump better because I'm an eater every day, all day. Another reason I like that is the convenience factor. Like, especially if I'm out at a meal with people, like my personality is not the type to give a shot at the table. Like, I would always leave the table, go to the bathroom, draw it up, give it. And so I feel like it's just such an inconvenience, whereas now I can literally just push buttons and I get insulin. So I really like that. Tiffany's here. Hi, Tiffany. You say puppy, puppy, puppy. She was just here, but she went outside. Ampers. Ampers. It's funny, when I'm outside and I call out to her, she'll run out. I don't know if she hears me right now. Ampers. Come here. Nothing. She'll come back. She can't go far. What is your... There she is. Hi, puppy. Come here. She just winked at me. Come here. Good girl. Ready, Tiffany? Ta-da. Ta-da, ta-da. She's cold. We're outside, huh? We're exploring. Having adventures. Isn't she the cutest thing you've ever seen? She's so sweet. Look up here. There you go. Good girl. So cute. I love her so much. Clara Montgomery says, have you ever lost your pump or accidentally left it somewhere? I don't think so. I'm surprised though, because I've had it for 9 years. You would think I would have left it somewhere once. I don't think I've heard the story of some people, they're driving to work and they realize they left their pump on their bed or table or whatever because they took a shower and took it off. I don't think I've ever done that. It's very surprising because I feel like I would, but I haven't. Nope. Yeah, I never lost it, never left it somewhere. I think there was one time, I just like always put it in the same spot when I shower. I always put it on my bed or my side table, so it's hard to lose. And I always remember to hook it back up for some reason. I don't know. But there was one time I think where I put it somewhere I don't usually, and I just remember like feeling down and like not feeling a pump, and I was like, oh, where is it? Oh crap. Like I have waited too long before I put it back on. Like I've like not reconnected my pump right after a shower, but I've never like left the house without it. So that's good, I guess. Muppet Love says, do you have any advice for wanting to become an RN? Sorry, I just got distracted with another question. My advice, well, I mean, depends on what stage of life you're in. If you're in college, go to nursing school. That's my advice. If you're in high school and you can choose some classes, I would say my most beneficial class was anatomy and physiology, because that gives you a good like baseline knowledge of just the body, how it works, what the parts are called, all of that. So that's really, really helpful so that eventually when you get to nursing school, you know what people are talking about. So having that was like a really helpful thing because I took that in high school and it was really good. So yeah. Colette, I'm not going to try to say your last name. I'm sorry. Now I feel like I have to. Prize boy. Colette says, have you heard about the doctor that wants to eliminate type labels for diabetes? He wants all diabetics to just be called diabetic with no distinction. What are your thoughts on that? I think it's a bad idea. I think there's already not enough distinction. I don't know if that's true. It could just be like one of those rumors that floats around, but I think it's a bad idea because already they're too similar in name and they're very different diseases. Like, you guys know I'm a nurse. I work with the nurses, and it's shocking to me how many of the people I work with just don't differentiate between the two at all. Like there was a bigger patient, and she had type 1 diabetes, and it was like, I don't even know how to say this, but they just weren't nice. And so it's like, not saying type 2 is caused by that, but I'm just saying that has nothing to do with type 1. And I just think it's really insensitive, and they'll always talk about like what they're eating and all of that. And it's like, type 1s can eat anything. Oh my gosh, you're driving me crazy. So like even nurses don't know, or they do know, but they don't always remember or reminded of the differences. And I think it's just because the name's the same. So I feel like it's already the same name. Like, why would we take away the types as well? It doesn't make any sense. I would love to hear that person's logic. Anna Hain says, what's your sugar right now? I checked my Dexcom earlier, and it said like 102. Yeah, 112. Wait, let me go to the page where I can actually see what I'm doing. This one. You see that? 112? Oh, it's totally backwards. Okay. Well, there you go. What's your blood sugar right now? Write in the comments. Russ said, did you take down your Spreadshirt page? Not intentionally. I think it's still up, isn't it? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Let me see. I was actually just on there today trying to make a hat for myself. But it's a lot of money to make something for yourself. Because not diabetes related at all. I just wanted a hat. But it wasn't as cheap as I thought it was going to be. Because like once you personalize stuff like that and like add a picture and stuff, it racks up the price. But why isn't it? So if you go to my Facebook, Diabetic Danica, and there on my cover photo, there's a Shop Now button. You click that, it goes right to my Spreadshirt shop. And yeah, it's still up. I have hoodies and t-shirts and a mug and a tank top. And I'd say they're not that bad of prices, like for this stuff that I made. Like some of the t-shirts are like 13 bucks, which I feel like isn't bad. The mug is only 11 bucks. So yeah, check it out. It's spreadshirt.com/diabeticdanica, I think. It's in the description, actually. I always link it in the description if you want to see it. Kat Sarah says, I'm not overweight, I'm close to underweight, and I had someone tell me to lose more weight and I'll be cured. I had someone ask today if I could eat chips because a type 2 wasn't allowed to. Insulting to assume anything. Yeah, that's so funny to me though, that like, if you're clearly like skinny even, like, and somebody's saying you should lose weight, like, are they even looking at who they're talking to? Like, that's ridiculous. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. People are so stupid sometimes. I'm sorry to say that, but they kind of are. Like, they're not stupid. They're just like, they're ignorant. They don't know what they're talking about, and they think that they're right for some reason, even though you're the one with diabetes. Like, clearly you should know more than they do, but for some reason they're like, you know what? That one time I heard that one thing on that one show, and I'm pretty sure I know that you just have to lose weight to not be diabetic. So you should lose weight, skinny person. Doesn't make any sense. Sarah, type 1D, says, have you ever been to the UK? I have. I love the UK. I studied abroad in England, actually, for like 3 months, and I had no idea how much I would miss it. I like think about it so frequently, and I made some really good friends there, and I got to travel a lot and like see a lot of cool places, and I just always wanted to go to England, and so it was a dream come true, especially London. So I really want to go back, like really bad. I'm hoping one of my friends gets married and I can go visit and like go to the wedding and go back to England. But I got to save up some money first. Girl, it is expensive. Let's see. People are asking if my pump is combined. Yeah, I have the Animus Vibe, which is an insulin pump and a continuous glucose monitor. It has a Dexcom inside of it. So I'm just going to read out some of the blood sugars I'm seeing. We got a 108, a 106. Oh, you guys are on the same page. 24.9. Let me see what that is in mine. 24.9 millimoles per liter, 2 milligrams per deciliter. I'm just gonna quickly look up what that is. 24.9. Oh, this chart's dumb. It doesn't list that number. Let me go. AccuCheck actually has a really nice converter for blood sugars. I think it was AccuCheck. But that was for the A1C test calculator. Whoops. That's the one. Okay. AccuCheck is the one I use when I get my average blood sugar and then see what my A1C is going to be. Convert milligrams per deciliter to millimoles per liter. Why can't I find the good one? There's an awesome one where you just enter the number and then it pops up. There we go. Perfect. Okay. 24.9. Calculate. 448. Okay. And I will let you guys, whichever one you are, calculate it, but I just wanted to know for myself. So 448, 103, 178. And that's all I see. Thanks for posting your blood sugars, guys. Katie Donaldson says, do you use Reddit? I love our diabetes. It's a great resource. I didn't know they had a diabetes page, actually. I used to go on Reddit sometimes. My brother's, I don't know if he's into it anymore, but he was really into it. And so I used to look on like Our Funny, but I didn't know they had a diabetes one. That's really cool. Look at Amber's just stealing the show here. She's so cute. She has no idea that there's people watching her at all. Are you sleepy? Yeah. Oh, she's totally like looking up as if she does know. Because she could easily lay down, but nope, she's all perched up. Amber's. Look up here. Good girl. Good girl. Could you just watch her all day? She's so sweet. She's so sweet. Okay. Anywho. Yeah, I want to check out that Reddit now. Actually, I'll check it out right now. Reddit are diabetes. I feel like that could be really funny and something I would really like. I'll just click the very first one. My girlfriend sent this to me from work today. And it's a marijuana joke. Okay. This one's just a story. I feel like I shouldn't do this during a live stream because I'm gonna have to like really get into it. This one says, oops. Pump fell in between arm and cushion of my chair, got pinned in metal, took 20 minutes to get out, not happy. I've definitely done that, like where your pump falls in between the couch cushions and you try to stand up and you're just pulled back and you're like, oh my goodness, ouchies, ouchies. That's not fun. That's cool though, I didn't even know that existed, like at all. So that's pretty awesome. Chad McCabe says, right now my girlfriend's daughter uses the Ping with a separate Dexcom unit. Are those able to be combined? Yes. I don't know about every country, but as far as I know, it's called the Animus Vibe. Obviously, you'd have to upgrade, so it would cost some money to upgrade it, but I think it's worth it because you don't have to carry a separate thing, a separate transmitter. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted by a million things happening at once. You can't see the puppy anymore, so I should probably lift that up. Yeah, Animus Vibe. Look it up. There's an upgrade fee, but I think it's worth it. Claire Davis says, have you seen type 1 diabetes memes on Facebook? Always good for a laugh. I have. I love type 1 diabetes memes. They're hilarious. I've been following them for a really long time. I see their stuff everywhere. Raz Strum says, hello, hello. Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all this is enough for me to go over. Now it's in my head. everything. Okay. What do I see? I'm gonna make sure that nobody asked me a question on Twitter because last time people tweeted me questions, but I never looked at it, I don't think. So I'm gonna go to Twitter real quick. Twitter, my Twitter is bmarieisme. I'm still really thirsty, but my blood sugar is not high. Also, I'm totally cheating this live stream because I have my light set up. Usually my live stream lighting is really bad and it's dark and you can't really see, but I have lights now, like professional lights, so I set one up because why not? So sorry if it ruined the illusion for you, but artificial lights, y'all. Bye, Ambers. She's like, I'm going outside. I'm done. Okay, so we're good on that. Diego says, I like your hair. Thanks. Thank you very much. Jad 3500 _ gaming says, in America, do you have to keep your A1C below 9 before driving for 3 months? It probably depends on the state, what the rules are. For when I got my license, I didn't have to. They didn't ask about my diabetes at all or A1C or anything. But yeah, I wonder why that would be. Because I feel like when my blood sugar is high, I don't think it affects my blood. It affects my blood sugar. When my blood sugar is high, I don't think it affects my driving. When it's low, it does. When it's low, it's like you're driving drunk and you should not drive. So I would think they wouldn't want your A1C to be too low. Just kidding. But yeah, too high. Maybe just for eyesight stuff. But if you have your eyes checked and they're fine, then I don't see why you wouldn't be able to drive. That's really interesting. What country is that does that? Clarissa Zapita says, what is your insulin to carb ratio? My insulin to carb ratio is 1 to 10. When I was first diagnosed, it was 1 to 15, then it was 1 to 12, and now it's 1 to 10, and I'm kind of thankful it's 1 to 10 because it's super easy to calculate. Like, it's the easiest conversion ever. If I have 50 units, if I have 50 carbs, I have 5 units. So it's the easiest math. I love it. So convenient. Ambers. She's looking over her shoulder at me like, what? What's up? So Jad got back to me and he said Australia is the country that requires that. It's really interesting. I wonder what their reasoning is for that. Kat Sarah says, oddest low or high symptom, my mouth has gone numb, both legs have gone out. When I was around 7, I would cry a lot when I was low. For me, only recently did the numb tongue thing happen to me. I'd never had that until like, I want to say like 2 years ago maybe. I was low. I don't think I was super low. I was substantially low, but not crazy like I'm gonna die low. Not to be dramatic. I want to say I was like 40. So not my lowest ever or anything, but I think I was there for a little bit and it was taking me a bit to come up. And my tongue got all like tingly, and that had never happened before, but I had heard other people talk about it happening when they were low, so I wasn't too freaked out. But it was weird. It was all tingly and like kind of numb feeling. And then even when I wasn't low anymore, it took a little bit to get that back. And I was like, yikes, that's scary. But I think that's the weirdest thing probably. Except for like, I guess being shaky, but I feel like that's a pretty normal low symptom. Like I've been super shaky. I've had convulsions in my legs before, like where they're shaking and I can't stop it. But yeah, that's the main stuff. Empress is being so cute. Can't see her, but she's being so cute. I don't think I've had an odd high symptom. Actually, yes, I have. When I was, I don't know how old, too old to pee the bed. I peed the bed because my blood sugar was high and I was on vacation and I peed the bed because I was high and I didn't wake up and I just went for it. So that was an odd symptom for me. It's only happened once. Katie Donaldson is saying my pediatric endo had have a low A1C to drive to, I'm assuming you mean like a normal A1C, a lower A1C. I think it's a common motivation tool for teens. Okay. So the reasoning behind it is just kind of like to get you back on track before you take on another big thing in your life, like just a motivational tool, like you said. So that's interesting to know. Now I have Adele stuck in my head. I think Adele's a great singer. She's very talented, but her songs kind of drive me crazy. So, she's such a good singer. It's the worst. Kat Sarah said, if you have a history of medical issues like unable to take care of yourself in the U.S., the DMV can ask for a medical professional to confirm you are healthy or safe to drive. Typically, this is in the elderly. I live in Arizona. They also will evaluate your driving ability. That makes sense. I've heard a lot of people say, yeah, that they had to they had diabetes on their license, which I don't think is a bad idea, because if you were pulled over and you were low and you weren't super able to communicate and they thought you were driving drunk, it would be helpful for on your license to say, hey, I'm diabetic. But it's like, I don't know, they never asked, and there was never any part on my forms or anything that said, do you have any medical problems? Like nothing like that. So I never brought it up. So I don't know. I just, I know what to do, and I know that if I'm low, I shouldn't drive, and I make sure I know where I'm at before I drive. So, yeah. Shanine Cahill said, do you have a favorite insertion site? I do. My favorite is definitely my hip area, like love handle area. I don't like my tummy at all. I will use my legs and my lower back, which is my upper butt. But my hips are the best. I have some padding there. It's more convenient. Like if I need to unhook for some reason, especially if I'm going through airport security or something, so much easier than having to like reach down into my pants. And it's just so accessible, I love it right there. But obviously I rotate and I don't always put it there because I don't want scar tissue. So yeah. I honestly, Adele is in my head. Hello from the other side. Is it okay? Is it from the other side or from the outside? Because I've heard it both ways and I can't figure it out. Is it hello from the outside? Hello from the other side? I feel like it's other, but maybe not. I don't know. I must have called 1,000 times. See what I'm saying? It's in my head. Twyla McDonald, or Twyla, said, what was the date of your type 1 diagnosis? Mine was March 23rd, 2009. Mine was August 27th, 2003. And I celebrate every year another successful year with diabetes. Robert Norris said, how much do Dexcoms and insulin pumps cost? It depends. Out of pocket, it costs like, the pump is like, I want to say $8,000 to $10,000. So it's a lot. I don't know about the Dexcom out of pocket cost. I used to know and then I kind of forgot. But hopefully you have insurance and that covers most of it. So just depending on your insurance and how much they cover is how much you end up paying. I think initially for my pump, I want to say we spent a couple thousand, and then each upgrade is like a couple hundred. So it's not cheap. The supplies aren't cheap, but luckily I'm on my parents' insurance still, and it's really good, and I think it's worth it for me. But yeah. Jake Crawford said, what do you think people should do if they're feeling depressed about diabetes? I think you should see a counselor. I wholeheartedly believe in counseling and therapists and all of that. I have been to a therapist a couple different times, times meaning like chunks of time for different things. And I think that that's sometimes what you need. And depression is a real thing, and it's a real condition and disease, even if you want to call it that, where physically in your brain things are off. And sometimes you need counseling, sometimes you need some medicine for a little bit, or maybe for an extended period of time. So I just think going to an expert who actually knows about this stuff is so helpful. And it's so helpful to also just hear them say, like, this is textbook depression or textbook anxiety or textbook whatever it is, because then you realize, like, I'm not crazy or weird. Like, this is quote unquote normal for people with this condition. So I talk to your endo just and see if there's any diabetic counselors that they have, because when I was first diagnosed, he recommended a counselor who had diabetes, and that's the person who helped me through my needle phobia. So, I mean, if you could even find somebody with diabetes, that would be great. Other than counseling and all that, I would say it also helps to talk to other people about it. I think it helps to connect with other diabetics through diabetes camps, online forums, any way that you can kind of realize that you're not alone and to talk with other diabetics is awesome. There's conferences all over the US and the world where people can get together and talk and just realize, like, you're not the only diabetic out there and people are going through the same stuff. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. What's going on? My mom always said, if you're sick, you go to the doctor. And so if you're having something that you need to talk to a counselor about, you go to the counselor. Like, that's just how it works. If you've had the flu for 3 days or whatever, that's a bad example. If you think you have strep throat, you go to the doctor. If you think you might be depressed or have anxiety, you go to a therapist. Like, that's just how it works. So, oh my gosh, look how cute she is right now. I hope she stays. Look at her. Hey, Empress. Isn't she the cutest? Let me move this big old cup. I cut out that little opening for her in that box. You see that? Because my sister-in-law did that with a box for her puppy. And I had that big box from this table that I bought. And so, yeah, it's a little playhouse. I need a new song in my head. Hi, honey. She's like, are you done? Can we just relax now, please? Not quite. I'm going to go for a couple more minutes. But I'm going to wrap it up kind of soon. Sarah Type 1D says, have you heard of Swim 22? No, I haven't. What's that? Muppet Love says, have you ever tried the Omnipod? I have been using it for 2 years now and I like it, but I'm not crazy about every aspect. Any advice, or do you think that other pumps are better? I know a lot of people that love the Omnipod, and I think especially for kids it's awesome because there's not a lot you can do on the actual pod. Like, you have to have the remote, and so I think it's great because then parents can have full control over it. I think for me, I wouldn't like it. I haven't actually tried it though, keep that in mind. But I just feel like the Dexcom is already kind of a big bulge, and I think the Omnipod is an even bigger bulge. Like, I looked at it and I was like, that is a big device, like, that's actually on your body. Like, I know the pump is big, quote unquote, like a little rectangle, but that's not actually like connected to you, you know, like you can clip it different places and all that. So also I think that I might forget the PDM, or just like it wouldn't always be on me because it doesn't have to be. So I feel like I would leave it maybe in the other room and I'd have to get up and get it and be like, I'm just too lazy for that. Like, I feel like that kind of thing I don't mind having attached to me all the time because I want that access to it. So I don't know. I just feel like I could. Now I'm just rethinking though my story about people that take off their pump to shower and then forget to put it back on. But I just feel like there's more chances for you to forget the PDM with the Omnipod, like the remote, than there is to forget to reconnect your pump. But I don't know. For me, I think it's too big for my body, and I feel like I wouldn't always have the PDM on me. I also heard, it's my understanding that like if the pod fails for some reason, you can't take the insulin back out, I think. So you have to waste it, and I don't really like that either. I think that kind of worries me. Also, often my set changes and my insulin change days are different. So like they don't always line up. You know, I'll change my insulin one day, change my set a different day. So I feel like with the Omnipod, they have to line up, and I don't know. It's just, I don't think it'd be good for me. But it doesn't mean it's not good, because there's plenty of people that really like it. So, oh yeah. Swim 22 is in the UK to raise money for diabetes. You swim 22 miles, the equivalent of the English Channel. That sounds so hard. Are you gonna do that? That sounds so hard. That's really cool though. I couldn't even run 22 miles, maybe not even walk 22 miles. So that's pretty amazing. It's really cool they do that though. All right, I am gonna wrap it up, but kind of want to give you guys a chance, just in case you've been holding out a question and you really want to ask it. I want you to be able to do that. So I'm going to stall for a tiny bit and let you ask one more question, and I'll pick the one that I want to answer. So go ahead and ask the questions. Go ahead and ask the questions. Go ahead. Or if it's just something you want to say before I leave, you know, something you got to get off your chest, that's fine. Go for it. I'm ready. Hit me with it. Or maybe you have nothing. Maybe that was it. So Kat Sarah said for the Omnipod, this is my last one, I just was reading it. For the Omnipod, PDM is your meter too, so the remote for the pump is the meter, so it goes with you everywhere. Yeah. I guess for me, it's less so like I wouldn't bring it with me out of the house, because I think I would, because I remember to bring everything else with me out of the house, like my meter and stuff. But I think that like around the house, I'm just so lazy that I wouldn't want to like get up and go get it. You know what I mean? Or like at work, I don't know if I would put that big old PDM. Like I feel like it's kind of chunky. Like I don't know if I'd put that in my scrub pocket. You know, like it'd just be inconvenient. But I don't know. So yeah, some of your last thoughts are, thanks for answering, Danica. I love your friend shirt. Thank you. Do you like Sweden? Yes. Have you ever had a gusher or a bleeder? I have, actually. I think this will be my last one, actually. So other people are saying thank you. That's really, really sweet. But ever had a gusher or a bleeder? One time I was checking my blood sugar, and sometimes I'm doing like a million things at once and I'm going really fast. And so I go to squeeze to get the blood out, and I'm not always looking. So I wasn't looking. And when I turned back, or was I looking? Maybe I'm confusing my stories. Basically, I squeezed it the same amount I usually do, but I might have glanced away, so I didn't realize it was already coming out, and it just squirted up. It just squirted straight up, and I was so freaked out. This was my dorm room in college, and I remember like looking around trying to see like if it got on anything. I think it got on the wall or something. But it just like, that freaked me out. So I started like after that not pointing it towards me, just of the fear that like if it doesn't come right away, the blood, and I have to push harder, like that's when it projectiled onto me. So I don't aim it towards myself anymore, because that was pretty gross. And then I think what I was thinking when I said I was looking away, that'll happen sometimes where I squeeze it a normal amount, but I look back and there's so much more blood than I meant to squeeze out. Like there's this huge drop, and I was like, oh my, whoa, that came out fast. But yeah, it's weird stuff. Pricking your finger every day, multiple times. You guys know it can have some weird stuff happen, including having old holes bleed as well, and you have 2 or 3 little things going. So, okay, I think that's a good place to end. Thank you guys so much for coming to my surprise live stream. You had no notice, but thanks for hanging out and asking questions and talking. I really enjoy these. So I hope you guys have a good night, morning, whatever it is, and stay tuned for some more videos coming soon. All right, thanks guys. Bye. I wish Amber's was out here so you could say bye, actually. Amber's! Last time this didn't really work when I said her name. Amber's! I don't think it's gonna work. Amber's! Amber's! I'll be right back. girl. Come here. Good girl. I got her. Here she is. Was it worth it? I think so. All right. Bye. Thanks for watching.